Our school, Michaelnagar Shikshaniketan, government-sponsored co-ed English medium higher secondary, has taken an excellent initiative in conducting online classes through YouTube channel. Even in this pandemic situation, our school did not step aback in providing and enhancing knowledge to the students. So, it's a request to the viewers, please like, comment and subscribe.
Today we are going to study about the executive in India. The executive in India means the Vice President of India and the Prime Minister of India. So the Vice President of India. According to Article 63 of our Indian Constitution, there shall be a Vice President of India. Now the Vice President of India is elected by a special electoral college. Article 66 provides for the procedure of the election of the Vice President of India. The Vice President of India is elected indirectly. The Vice President of India is indirectly elected by a specially constituted electoral college consisting of the members of both the houses of the Parliament. The election takes place in accordance with proportional representation by means of single transferable vote, and the voting is done by secret ballot. So, like the President, the Vice President is also elected for a term of 5 years and he is also eligible for re-election. The Vice President shall not be a member of either house of the Parliament, or he shall not be a member of the house of the legislature of any state. If he is a member of the house of the Parliament or a house of the legislature, at the time of his appointment he has to vacate that particular seat. Next we will go to qualifications which are required to be the Vice President of India. What are the qualifications? First of all, he must be a citizen of India. He must have completed 35 years of age. He should be qualified to be a member, or he should be qualified to be a member of a Council of States. And the Vice President should not hold any office of profit under the state government, union government or any local authority. Now there is also a procedure which we can say is used for removal of the Vice President. How is the Vice President removed? The Vice President is removed by passing a resolution which is passed by majority of all the members of the Council of States, agreed to by the House of People, that is the Lok Sabha. Now in Article 64 and 65 we will specify the powers and functions of the Vice President. So what are the powers and functions of the Vice President? The Vice President mainly presides over the meetings of the Council of States. That is the Rajya Sabha presides over the meetings of the Council of States. That is the second chamber of the Parliament. Like in US also, the Vice President presides over the meetings of the National Legislature. That is the Senate. Now the Vice President is the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. When the office of the President falls vacant due to any, if he has resigned, if the President has resigned due to any sickness, absence of the President, then the Vice President discharges the functions of the President. When the office of the President falls vacant owing to illness, then like death, resignation, the Vice President discharges the function of the President. Like in case of like due to the sudden death of Dr. Zakir Hussain, where for a very short period of time the office of the Vice President was vacant, and then V.V. Giri, he took over as the like the Vice President, like during the death of Dr. Zakir Hussain. Then also when Fakhruddin Ahmad Ali was not in office of the President, then B.D. Jatti also acted as the new President. He was the Vice President, B.D. Jatti. He also acted as the new President until the President has taken upon his office. So this is what the office of the Vice President deals with. Next we will come to the Prime Minister of India. But before studying about the Prime Minister of India, I would like to say a little about the federal structure of our country. What is a federal structure? We all know that India, it is a federal form of government with a parliamentary government in the center. What is a federal structure mainly? Federal structure means there is one central government and there are several state governments existing side by side. There is only one central government which is operating at the center, and there are several state governments which are existing side by side. And parliamentary form of government means that the Prime Minister is the head of the government. The Prime Minister is the real executive authority. The Prime Minister is the de facto executive. Like the President is the head of the state, but the Prime Minister is the head of the government. So we will study about the Prime Minister. So the President appoints the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister appoints other ministers on the advice of the President. Now, how the President is appointing the Prime Minister? The President appoints the leader of the majority party in the Lok Sabha as the Prime Minister. In case a party is failing to get a clear majority in the Lok Sabha, then the President uses his own discretion. When a party is not getting a clear majority in the Lok Sabha, the President uses his own discretion, or even if the Prime Minister dies in office without any obvious successor. Now, the Prime Minister is the ex officio chairman of the Niti Aayog, the National Development Council, the National Integration Council, the Interstate Council. The Prime Minister can also be a member of either house of the Parliament. Even if he is not a member of any house of the Parliament like the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, after he becomes the Prime Minister, he has to become or take the membership of either one of the house within 6 months after his appointment. Now, who administers oath to the Prime Minister? The President administers oath to the office of the Prime Minister. The President is the one who administers oath to the office of the Prime Minister. So, the Prime Minister does not have any fixed term of office. He holds office as long as he gets a clear majority in the Lok Sabha. Next, we will come to the functions of the Prime Minister with respect to the Council of Ministers. We all know that there are 3 categories of ministers. What are the 3 categories of ministers? One, we will find the cabinet ministers. Cabinet ministers are the direct policy makers. They are attached to some kind of cabinet ministry. They are the direct policy makers. Next, we will come to the ministers of state. Who are the ministers of state? Ministers of state, they may have some independent ministry, but they are attached to some cabinet ministry. And at last, we will come to the deputy ministers. Deputy ministers do not have any independent ministry. Deputy ministers do not have any independent charge. They are attached to some cabinet ministry. Now, what are the functions of the Prime Minister with respect to the Council of Ministers? First of all, the Prime Minister appoints, assigns portfolios and also dismisses the ministers. He appoints, assigns portfolios. What are portfolios? Means various departments, as well as the Prime Minister has the power to dismiss those ministers. The Prime Minister can directly ask a minister to leave, or he may indirectly ask the President to dismiss that particular minister. The Prime Minister coordinates and controls the activities of all the ministers. The Prime Minister is the leader of the government as well as the leader of the party. The Prime Minister, suppose if the Prime Minister can also, if a vote of no confidence, if a motion of no confidence is passed against the ministers, then all the ministers have to resign, including the ministers from the Lok Sabha as well as the ministers from the Rajya Sabha. Next, the Prime Minister, what does he do? The Prime Minister, according to Article 78, also initiates the proposals for legislation and also regulates the administration of the affairs of the Union. The Prime Minister may advise the President with respect to the appointment of the CAG, that is the Comptroller and the Auditor General, the Attorney General of India, then the members of the Finance Commission, the members of the Union Public Service Commission, then the Finance Commission. So, and also the Prime Minister may also advise the President to declare emergency in case of war or external aggression. If a Prime Minister is dies in office, then the Council of Ministers gets dissolved automatically. And then according to Article 74, there is a Council of Ministers which is headed by the Prime Minister. And also the Prime Minister can take part in debates which is taking place in both the houses. There are debates, so the Prime Minister can participate in debates which is taking place in both the houses. He can do that. He has that authority to take part in debates. Secondly, now we will study about the Council of Ministers. Who are the Council of Ministers? The President, the President administers oath to the Prime Minister. The President also administers oath to the Council of Ministers. So, according to Article 75, the ministers bear a collective responsibility to the Lok Sabha. What is collective responsibility means? That the ministers, they sink and swim together. I have already if a motion of no confidence is passed against a ministry or the Council of Ministers or a particular minister, then all the ministers have to resign, including those from Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. Then the ministers also bear according to Article 75, there is also individual responsibility. That is, the President may remove a particular minister from office even if a party is enjoying a clear majority. The President can do that. So, what are the other things the Prime Minister does as the leader of the party? He is appointing the ministers, is dismissing them, he is giving them various portfolios, is assigning responsibilities to them, but there is also this collective responsibility that the ministers have to sink and swim together. That is, in case a motion of no confidence is passed against a particular minister, the entire ministry has to resign, along with the members of the Lok Sabha as well as the members of the Rajya Sabha. So, this is and what else does the Prime Minister do? The Prime Minister is not only the leader of the government or but he is the leader of the nation. The Prime Minister is the leader of the nation. And what else does he do? He presides over the meetings of the Council of Ministers. He can bring down the Council of Ministers. What does the Prime Minister do? The Prime Minister can bring down the Council of Ministers he is bringing them down by resigning from office. So, now we know that the Council of Ministers bear a collective responsibility to the Prime Minister. So, this is So, this is the functions. We have studied the functions and the tenure of the Prime Minister. That is, the Prime Minister is elected for a term. He does not have any fixed majority, he does not have any fixed term. As long he is getting a clear majority in the Lok Sabha, he will remain in office, and if he will be removed from office when when there is a next election. So, this is it. So, this is it for today. We will be continuing in the next class. Thank you.
Subscribe. Click on the bell. Like, comment, share.